Tell, Cockerell, he's just a true guy. You'll have a true time. Tell, Cockerell, leave your troubles at the door. You know the game, you know the score. We're here to have fun, so holster that gun and read the writing on the wall. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerell, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerell. Jose gets himself around, always talking Spurs wherever he is found, home or away. He always tips to win, throws the form book in the bin with a cheeky knowing grin. Tell, Cockerell, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerell. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and on and on and on. Why do I always get it wrong? Every time I play along. Tell, Cockerell, the show is so chilled, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell, Cockerell. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerell, the show is so chill, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell, Cockerell.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tell Cockerell. Is that better? There it is. Here I am. Friday, the 8th of August, for us all in the world, apart from those down under who are turning into Saturday already. I hope each and every one of you, whether it's your morning, your afternoon, or your evening, I hope that everybody is as well as can be. We're back. Next week. It all kicks off again. So all the competitions are back and they all start next week. So I'm going to bring updates to that, and I want to have a little chat about Tottenham, and then I'll bring you the updates of where we can be found and what we can do. So let me say hello to a few people in the chat. Now, I know that Adrian was here earlier, so I'm not sure whether he's here now, but good afternoon to the Oracle. I hope you're well. By the way, Adrian, if you are here, I've got my ticket for Burnley, and I've also got a ticket for the second game against Bournemouth, and I've held off getting the Wolves ticket for the third game because it's a Sunday at 2 o'clock, so I'm not sure about getting up there. I need to look at my train times, but if my train times suit and there is a train running to London for me, then the likelihood is I will get my ticket for the third game as well. So I will meet up with anybody at the stadium who are going to the matches. Adrian is one of them. Finn was here earlier, says big up Jose in the chat. Good afternoon, Finn. I hope you are well. Are you waiting for results, Finn, to come through? Because I know that you've been studying. Are you waiting for results to come through? I don't know if it's your GCSEs or your A levels, maybe even degree, Finn. I don't know how young you are, but I know that you've been studying. So good luck with the results, because A levels results come out next Thursday. They came out, yeah, the A levels come out next Thursday, the 14th, and then the GCSEs come out the following Thursday, the 21st. I have been through it with my children. I now have to go through it again next Thursday, because my children get their A levels. My children get their A level results next Thursday, so we are looking forward to that. So I wish everybody that's got children, or everybody that's waiting for exam results, whether it be A levels, GCSEs, degrees, whatever have you, I wish you all the very best, and I hope you get what you need in order to further your education or further your careers. So well done, all of you, and well done, parents and carers that support their children and the people they care for during which is a really hard period of time when the results come through. Shan Tam is here, says, afternoon, Mr. Bossman. Jose, I hope you're doing well today. Yesterday was a definite men against boys type of game. We just looked like a youth team out there playing a team of world-class players. I will touch upon that, Shen, but you're not too far from it. Drula's here. She says, afternoon, Jose and Good afternoon, Drula. Hope you and the family are well. Queen Ellie's here. Good. Queen Ellie Coy. Of course, she changes her name more than people change their. Good Avro cover, as David would say. Much love, Jose. Good afternoon, the Queen. I hope you're well, Els. Colin Blackshaw. Good afternoon, Mr. Blackshaw says, hello, Jose in the chat. Been a while, Colin. I hope you are well, mate. I hope you're well. Eddie's got the right idea. Hello, big up all the chat. Please remember to smash the like button for our Jose. Good afternoon, Jess says, big up, Jose. Good afternoon, Jess. I hope you're well. I've joined your Super Brew Championship, and I did my predictions yesterday. I don't know how I can link to your Premiership ones. I haven't got a clue. And also, I did put a message out in the chat to see whether anyone had any codes for any fantasy leagues. I think you've got a fantasy league, and if you have, can you send me a link or something just so I can join it? I'll be more than happy to do so. And she also says, big up the chat. That's nice of Jess. Oh, my man Vinders. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am real. Never meant to make you cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am a real, just a drive-by. Okay. Take care. Take care, Vinders. And then he says, big up, Jose. Catch you in a bit. Have fun. And he's saying, big up to people. Bye. David's here, says hi from Leicester. Hope everyone is well in the chat. You've put something else, David, which I'll catch up with in a minute. Small downs to Mr. Dan. Small downs, sir. I hope you are well and hope you're enjoying the day. We then got John, Spurs fan John. Hello, John. I hope you're well, mate. Hope you're fully recovered now. Says, hey. Good afternoon, John. I hope you are well. And as I said, I hope you're fully recovered. And you've got Simon Cohen. Hi, Simon. I hope you're well. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be, Simon. Says, great intro, Jose. Thank you very much. Sai's here. Sai says, afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sai. I hope you are well as well, mate. Are you and the family? Looking nice and tanned. I don't know when I'm nicely tanned. Maybe I'm hot for the show. That music tune, best of the YouTube by far, El Cockroach at the LE. Nick, good afternoon, Nick. Says, I'm glad I do not have my season ticket anymore. Fair play to put yourself through the misery. Mate, it's in the blood. It will never come out of the blood. It'll always be in the blood. And yeah. Afternoon, everyone. Jose, you need a new background for the new season. Do I? If someone can create me a background, I'll put one in there. Carl Simpson's here. Good afternoon, Carl. I hope you're well. I hope the summer's gone well for you, Carl. Says, good afternoon, Jose, and everyone in the chat. Good afternoon, Carl. David Clark. This is the update I was waiting for. My first leg operation is booked for a week on Monday. And after recovery, hoping to get back on the list for my total knee replacement. So it's just fingers crossed. It's not cancelled again. Do you know what, David? When I did the show last week, I thought you said it was this Monday. That's why I knew that you'd put another comment in there, and I was hoping that you was giving an update about how you'd gone. So it's booked for a week on Monday. So I gather if it's booked for a week on Monday, we're talking the 18th of August, David. All the very best to you. Adam McFarlane's here, says, where's Paratici? Hope he ain't gone Bermuda Triangle. I don't know where he's gone. I don't know whether he's here or not. But we do need him. We do need him, I would say. Adrian says, Jose, we can meet in the South Stand fan zone with Kev Clark and Ian Meff and that. I think my tickets, the tickets I've bought are in the South Stand. SJ, does anyone else feel like there's a piece missing without Sonny? Not just missing a player, but feels like a gap in the club. Interesting, interesting. And you've got Chris Peters. Good afternoon, Sir Chris. I hope you are well, mate. I hope everything's well with you. Says afternoon, Jose, and all in the chat. Ben says Paratici is investing in storage units in Milan. I am not joking. And Adam France says, hope we keep Solomon unpredictability and pace makes him dangerous. And Neil Schwartzman has come in and given us 2 dots. What that quite means. And now 1 dot. 2 dots, 1 dot. Anthony Herbert. Good afternoon, Anthony. Jose, big up for you doing fantasy football. Big up you doing fantasy football. Anthony, the whole show today is geared up to the competitions that we are running again this season. So I'll be able to show everyone what we're doing. David Clark says, yes, it was because there was only 2 patients booked for that day. The surgeon refused to come out for 2 patients, so he cancelled the operation. Bloody hell. That's not nice, is it? I hope, David, the 18th's a goer for you, because I know that you've been waiting quite a while now, mate. So I hope the 18th is a goer for you, and I hope everything goes absolutely swimmingly for you. Right, where are we? Right, so before I start on the competitions, a little bit about yesterday that took me eye. Yesterday was a chastening experience. Yeah, but Kev Clark. Good afternoon, Kev. I hope you're well. Says pre-game on the outside area near entrance 221, I think, and post-game normal place overlooking the fish and chip stand. I will see you before then, Kev, because I'll be in the office next week because I've just come back from leave, so I'll be in the office next week. So I'll see you then as well, Kev. Right, yesterday, things I've noticed to me were not only did we get schooled yesterday, but Bayern are a week. They start their league a week after us. Bayern have only just gone back into training because of the Club World Cup. So they've only just got back in, and they got to the, I believe, the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup. Paris Saint-Germain reached the final. So Paris Saint-Germain will obviously, their protocols will be 1 week after. Their protocols will be 1 week after Bayern. So Bayern not only came in to the game yesterday, just starting out their pre-season, but I felt that but Bayern yesterday, I felt that they looked fitter than us. In the first half, I thought they looked. I thought they looked fitter than us. And yeah, it just goes to show that they've less time to prepare. We've had 4 pre-season matches. We've been back at pre-season for what, 3 weeks minimum. I think we came back on the 5th or the 6th of July. So nearly a month, 4 weeks we've been back in pre-season. Bayern Munich have only been back just under 2 weeks, and I felt they were fitter than us. That showed to me yesterday. I felt that some of the players yesterday, it's going to take time, because I will say that Thomas Frank is coming in. He has to implement his style and also what his expectations are, both in and out of possession, in transitions, and stuff like that. Yeah, John, I can see your comments about the 14-hour flight and that. I can see all that. But to me, looking at the game yesterday as well, I thought to myself, and these are just my opinions. No one has to agree or disagree. And I'm not asking people to agree or disagree. I'm just giving my opinion, what I thought from yesterday. And what I thought to myself was that we know about Maddison being injured. We know about Kulusevski being injured. We know about Dragusin being injured. We know about the players that we've got injured that are going to be out for a while. Solanke, I'm not sure how long he's out for. Not heard anything, so I don't really know. But there's a few players are out injured at the moment. So we know this. We're sending a lot of the kids out on loan. The one that I wouldn't send still is Vuskovic. I want to keep Vuskovic in the club. I wouldn't let Vuskovic go. I think Vuskovic's got a part to play, uh, especially if we don't go and buy another centre half or another left back or whatever. I think he's got a part to play, so I'd keep him. But yeah, it was interesting yesterday. Van der Ven and Romero played the whole game, and Danso and Vuskovic didn't get any minutes. So yeah, looking at it yesterday, I felt that up front we looked powder puff. I think Richarlison looked way off it yesterday again. And I think we need whoever we got up front, we need them to be fit and firing. Yeah, so to me, we looked really toothless, if I can say that. João Paulinho, I think he's only started like 6 games, or he's played 6 games for Bayern last season. He had an injury, fell out of favour, so he's hardly played any football last season. So he's going to take time to come up to speed. I don't even know whether he was in pre-season training with um, Bayern, because with a club, sorry, with him potentially leaving and talking to us and stuff like that, he may not have done many minutes with Bayern in pre-season. So for me, he will come good. I think there's something there in Paulinho, and whoever the double pivot is with him. Yesterday it was Bentancur. I felt Bentancur did more than I felt Bentancur did more than Paulinho, but that's only because of Paulinho's fitness. Although saying that, Paulinho I think will get fit quite quickly, and he will come along. And once he's up and running, he will improve us. He definitely will improve us. I thought Spence had a poor game by Spence's standards, if that makes any sense, because standards that Spence has set playing on the left back last season. He set some high standards. He had some really good games, and I didn't feel that he was at it fully yesterday. I think it's one of his probably lesser games, if you like. Pedro Porro just did Pedro Porro things. Pedro Porro's he's like an energizer bunny, isn't he? He just did Pedro Porro things. The other guy was Kudos. Kudos for me yesterday, frustrating. I felt that Kudos, again, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he tries to take absolutely everyone on, and he tries to carry the team on his own. And I felt that he did quite a bit of running yesterday with his head down. So he was looking at his feet instead of looking at the man. He was looking at his feet, and I felt that the ball got tangled up a few times in his feet. But these things will come because Kudos is playing with new players and that. But the fundamental, and the other one was Vicario. In the group chats that I'm in, I put Vicario, question mark, is he allowed to take his concrete boots off? Okay, there were some good goals that were scored against him, but he's positioning. And he got nowhere near any of the balls in his positioning. And for me, I was concerned with Vicario last year. I'm still concerned with him now. Nothing has allayed my fears. With him with the ball at his feet, I'm just like, I'm not too sure. I think that when we're under pressure, I think with the ball at his feet, he can become a bit of a weak link. Personal opinion doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. We've all got opinions. You're welcome to your own opinions, but they were my thoughts for yesterday. And obviously, there's been a lot of chat about bringing players in, buying new players, and stuff like that. And for me, looking at the moment, Maddison's going to be out for the season, right? So Maddison's not going to be registered either in the Premier League or in the Champions League squads. So in the Premier League, straight away, we are 2 players short of homegrown. So you've got one or two things. Either you bring some homegrown talent in, right? And we need 2 of them to have a full squad, or you upgrade youngsters from your B to your A lists. it doesn't look like we're going to do that because we seem to be loaning out all our youngsters, good or bad. We seem to be loaning out all our youngsters. So for me, we need 2 homegrown players, and for me, I mean personally, for me, I would bring, I would. It's easy. Everyone will probably agree. I'll slap the money down and bring Eze in. I'll bring Eze in as one of the 2, right? Eze's got to come in for me as one of the 2 players, and then I'd consider the loan for Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish and Eze could do wonders for us. Um, the points to prove because with Jack Grealish, it's a World Cup year this year. Jack Grealish wants to play in the World Cup, and in order to play in the World Cup, he needs to be playing first team football. So for me, I'd bring them both in. I'd bring them both in, and bring them up. Um, give me a second. Sorry, my wife just returned from work, and I just have to say hello. Um, so yeah, I would definitely consider bringing them two in. But do you know what? People that listened to me last season, I turned around last season and I said last season I felt that we were 5 players light at the end of the transfer window in the summer season. I felt that we were 5 players light. Now that we're going into this um, European, the Europeans, and we're going to be chasing all 4 fronts, and we're playing Champions League football. Not only do I still think we're the 5 players light from last season, but we're even further light because we're playing in the Champions League this season. The other thing as well is I don't know. We seem to be. I'm watching. I'm watching Chelsea get rid of all their players for extortionate amounts of money. Now I'm not going to say there's no skullduggery going on because there probably is. It's probably mates scratching each other's backs. Um, but we are not selling players. We haven't moved any players on. I mean, I don't know if it's truth or not, but someone said to me, I think it was Adrian. I had a chat with Adrian yesterday, and Adrian said to me that that Frank's now put Basuma on the transfer list. Well, I didn't know that Basuma was on the transfer list. I've not seen anything he's on the transfer list. But at the end of the day, we still got players in that squad that people will want them to move on. Yeah, so I'd say, as a fan base, the majority of people are looking to move Bissouma on. People are probably looking to move Solomon on. People are probably looking to move Hill on. There's a whole clamour. There's a whole group of people that want Richarlison moved on, and that's just the start of it. That's 4 players. Now, at the end of the day, I can tell you that I was in Spain, and in Spain, um, the Marca represent Real Madrid and AS represent Barcelona. And they cover all sport, all football, and all sport. And all the links when I was in Spain with them 12 days, the only links with Tottenham players that there were was Brian Hill. And that was that Osasuna wanted Brian Hill, and so did Girona. So Girona and Osasuna are interested in Brian Hill. So that was what I got out of it. There was no other players that Tottenham there's no other teams in Spain that were interested in any other Tottenham players, and there was no interest, as far as I could work out in Spain, of Tottenham being interested in any La Liga players at all. So where are we looking now? I know we get frustrated as a crowd because Tottenham now, and have done for the last 4 years, the ITKs that used to be useful 6 or 7 years ago, they now spray their AK-47s, hoping that one will land, and they come up 400 names that you're linked with. And usually with Tottenham, and it has been for the last 3 or 4 years, it's the players that we're linked with are not the players that we end up going for or we end up getting. Case in point for me would be Vicario. Everyone was saying we're getting David Raya. We signed Vicario. Under the cloak of darkness, we signed Vicario. We didn't even know about Vicario, and we signed him. Then I look at Solanke. All the talk was Ivan Toney was coming. Ivan Toney was the big shout that he was coming, and we signed Solanke. So, where did Dragusin? Where did he come from? All of a sudden we were in for Dragusin, and we bought Dragusin. So Tottenham do things quietly, and it probably, as a fan base, doesn't help us out because we want to know what's going on, and we want to see players come through the door, and we want to know, who's going out, and we want to know everything. And some of us feel that, because we support the club, and some of us may feel that because we put money into it and that, we should know. And part of me says, yeah, you should. But the other part of me says that if everyone knows your business, then, you're starting with your hands tied behind your back. So I've got no doubt that stuff may be going on, or should be going on in the background, but we seem to be really, really slow. Ideally, I'm going to be with the whole crowd here, and I'm going to say that what you want to do is you want to ensure that you get your players and your purchases, you get them in for pre-season. So at the start of the transfer window, you bring your players in. So on the 5th, 6th, 7th of July, when you first start pre-season, when you first meet up, you do your test, the 1 kilometer run, and you do all the medicals and everything. At that stage, you want to have your new players there, so they start with the team. Now, Mohamed Kudus probably started with the team. Paulinho certainly hasn't. And anybody else that we bring in from this point forward wouldn't have had a pre-season. We are playing PSG next week, and then next Wednesday, and then the Saturday we start against Burnley. So we're 8 days away from the Premiership, and I don't know, 23 or 24 days away from the window closing. And we're doing what Tottenham do. We're doing Tottenham's. The evidence has been there for 50 transfer windows and for over 25 years, where we just do. We've got a scattergun approach to going out and making buying or getting players in. We tend to do it right just at the end of the window. Opportunistic signings and stuff, and everything's like at the end of the window. See who we can knock down and we can lowball, and that's it. And that's no way to plan. I would have thought that we would have had a plan in place. Now, the plan in place would be you consider that when you put a good plan in place, is that it's a well thought. You've thought it out. It's well thought. And what you do is you say, right, we need a for argument's sake, we need a left-sided inside forward, or we need a left-sided player. Right. This is the profile of player we're looking at. These are the players that fit that profile. And there's a list of, say, four. Let's say there's 4. You narrow it down to 4. And then you turn around and say, right, who do you want? Who's your top target? Okay, so the top target is this one. He's A. Then it's B. Then it's C. Then it's D. At the end of the day, I don't see any of this planning happening, because if you lose a target, and you can lose a target through money, player fancy somewhere else, you can lose a target. But when you lose that target, you should be able to pounce onto the next target. And I don't know what we're doing. I really don't know what we're doing, because it doesn't appear that we're bouncing onto any targets at all. So, at the end of the day, so all players, I mean, at the moment out there that can play on the left, you've got Garnacho and what's he up? The youngster. No, I can't remember his name now. The youngster, the German boy. Anyway, he's playing out in Germany. But Chelsea are interested in both of them, right? Chelsea are interested in both of them. So it seems to be that unless we're not interested in them, players that we believe as fans would fit profiles are just being sucked out, and they're being taken by other people. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Soul destroying, because we want our team to do well, so it's soul destroying. But at the end of the day, what can you do? This is Tottenham, as I keep saying to people. Chill. This is Tottenham. Evidence is there, right? Evidence is there of what Tottenham are like, and the evidence has been there for 50 transfer windows, 25 years, and we are exactly the same as what we normally are. I've seen nothing different. So therefore, I don't go absolutely mad about it, thinking, "Oh my God, blah blah blah." We haven't signed no one, because to me the evidence is there, and with the evidence being there, it just means that I get and I expect this to happen. The only way it doesn't happen is if they go out and do something absolutely new and that they haven't done in the previous 25 years. Then I'll be shocked. But at the moment, I'm not shocked with anything at all. So let me just ensure. Let me just so going on from that. Let me say hello to a few more people that have put comments in here that I've missed. But first of all, let me say Vindaloo put in a super chat, says Jose, a little something towards Jackson's first initial payment. Anything for my neighbours, love ya. If it makes you feel any better, Vindaloo, I'll take your super chat, right? But I don't believe in a month of Sundays and that we're ever going to sign Nicholas Jackson with Chelsea. One, we don't do business with Chelsea usually, and two, Jackson ain't worth 80 million. We're not desperate to pay 80 million. We might have done that in the past where we paid for Richarlison the 60, but I don't think Tottenham are desperate to shell out 80 million on a player I don't think is worth 80 million pounds. But if it's not towards the Jackson initial payment, it can be towards another player. Graham has said, smash the like, folks. He's been a member for 13 months. Thank you very much for being a member, Graham. Just the harmless potatoes come in. He's been a member for 9 months. Just telling me. And then good hello, Spud. I hope you're well. And then you've got Paul G. He's been a member for 9 months. Says, good afternoon. Happy Friday. Come on, you Spurs. That's the spirit. Peter Kagaias has come in and he has gifted 5 channel memberships. And there was a time check. Peter came in at 118. Yep. Peter says, hi all, 118 from Melbourne. So that was 15 minutes ago. Oh, I am slow on the chat, ain't I? But he's gifted 5 channel memberships and these have gone to, go back and work this one out now. Right. These have gone to Lord Rodney Trotter, Guy Thompson, Corey Boy, Bill Greenwood, and Spotlight on Spurs to Lukey. And I think Luke's already said thank you, I think, in the chat. Carl Simpson's a member for 10 months. Thank you for being a member for 10 months. Carl says, can someone please tell me what Richie does? Not much. Not much. Right. That's the greens that I've had to do. So I've got them out of the way. Now let me go back into where we were. So you've got Graham is here. Look at that. Graham says, afternoon, Jose. I hope all is well. Can't believe it's almost predictions times again. Yeah, it's madness, people. We won the trophy, right? We won the trophy on the 21st of May. And here we are. Well, here we are. Next week will be the 15th of August. And season's done. Season starts already. Well, it's not season done. Season starts. The period between the season finishing and starting has gone. It's elapsed. Oh, summer's done. It's all gone. Ben Kaufman says Bayern Munich do a lot of Feldener Cray method treatments, so they are always in very good shape. People saying I like each other. John says, yeah, Solanke is weird. We can't go into the season with just Richie. The thing is, I don't know how long. Does anyone know how long Solanke's out for? Because I don't. Just a harmless potato. There he is. Hello, all. Big up, Jose. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Mr. Harmless Potato. I hope you are well, sir. Spot on about Paulinho. He's hardly played. People saying like each other. David Clark says, if Spurs are saying that we don't need a replacement for Son, it just shows you how clueless this club is. Carl, he does a great banter on socials, winding up gooners. That's very John. Ben says, got to sign some much better forwards who can hold on to the ball. The ball was always coming straight back. Dazzer's here. Good afternoon, Dazza. I hope you and the family are well. Mate says, hello, Jose in the chat. I hope you're well, sir. Archer's here. Good afternoon, Archer. I hope you and the family are well. Says, good afternoon, Jose. Good to see you. Who else have we got here? Just the Harmless Potato says, I fully trust Frank to fix all the problems through coaching. I don't disagree that Frank's not a good coach. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. But you got to give right. So okay, at Brentford, he had the tools that he was given, and he done exceptionally well with what he was given. Right. But when you come into a club like Tottenham, you'd like to think that we have more money than Brentford. So therefore, your starting point for players that you bring in may be of a higher caliber initially when they come into the club, and Frank can then work and make them better. But it's not a manager problem. It's not a coach problem. The problem is that it doesn't matter what the name is, everything goes in the same direction. It's all to do with penny pinching, trying to get one man upmanship, having a how many years have we spoken about the same kind of transfer window? So it doesn't matter who the director of football's been and who the people in the background have been. It's always been the same dross. The only time I ever got excited was when we had Paratici and Gabardini there, because we were linked to so many different players, and you could see that irons were in the fire for everything. I don't see irons in the fire. And to me, as I said, there was a reason why Langer was let go at Aston Villa, and I've got no reason to think otherwise. I've not been shown any evidence otherwise. People will say to me, "Yeah, but they've bought in A, B, C, and D." Well, they may have bought A, B, C, D in, but I saw the squad that travelled for the Asian tour, and when you looked at it on paper, it was harsh. It was harsh reading out that squad on paper and thinking that you're going to do absolutely anything this season. Good coach or not, it's going to be difficult. Luke E says, "Big up, Jose. Hope you and the chat are well." I am well, Luke. Are you still at work? Are you just finishing off, or have you finished for the day? But God bless you and your family, mate. Carl Simpson says, "I would bring Eze and Grealish, like I would as well." David Clark says, "I've seen every Spurs player since 1960, and Richarlison is the worst number 9 I've ever seen. This guy can't even control the simplest of passes, yet the ball gets fired into Kudos and he kills the ball." Jess says, "I can say one thing. I don't like to see videos done laughing at Frank. It was one game. Frank will learn a lot from that game and address these issues." Frank is a very, yeah, Jess, Frank is a very astute person. I've got no doubts about his credentials. But, at the end of the day, if you're not given the tools, doesn't matter. He's got great credentials. You've got to be given the tools. It's either that or people are going to lower their standards, unless the club are lowering the standards of the players that they're bringing in, because they should be able to bring a higher caliber player into Frank to initially start working with. But we'll wait and see. Ronnie says, "Hello, Jose Coys. Good afternoon, Ronnie. I hope you are well, sir. I hope you're well." Daniel says there were 68 people in here and only 24 likes. I want to see them like numbers up improved as soon as possible. I would as well. I would as well. It's kind to be kind, and it doesn't cost you any money to just hit the like button, does it? Scratching more than each other's backs, from when I said earlier that the clubs are scratching each other's backs. We need to sell. Well, sorry, we need to tell these players we are not going to register you. Time to get tough. Razzle Dazzles here says, "Can they buy Basuma and get Richarlison on the free?" do a 2-for-1 with Solomon and Hill. Ben says, "Spurs need some English players for Europe. Grealish and Eze. Move the world to get them." I don't think you need to move the world, though, Ben, in all honesty. I think Eze, if you pay the money, then the player's more or less yours if you can pay the money. So, and if there's truth in it that Crystal Palace have relaxed their stance and are happy to accept 3 £20 million payments, it's a no-brainer. You pay that money, but I don't know whether the goalposts have moved, because I haven't seen any club going for Eze now, so I don't know whether them goalposts have been moved. SJ says we should retire the Richarlison shirt. Razzle Dazzle says, "When you look at it, though, has our scouting actually been any good on these quiet transfers?" I don't know. Everyone has their opinion. Ben Kaufman says, "Time to move Langer on." You all have your own opinions, and I just read out what you guys say. I don't have to agree or disagree. It's all lies. Ivan Toney was never coming to Spurs. His outrageous wage demands meant he was never an option. I never said he was coming. I just said we were linked with him. It seemed to be he was the only link that we were getting, and we ended up going for Solanke. Drew Frank says, I don't care about them doing the transfers on a hush. It's the time they take to get them done because I'd like our marquee players in early. Razzle Dazzle says, not just that, they have to relocate and buy a house, etc., and adjust to a life in a new area. True. Yeah, everyone has to adapt if you come in. Newcastle are being linked to Marnie now, although it's clear his preference is Juve. Surely we need to get a plan in place to get him if Juve falls through. Do you know what? I was thinking about a player today. He's not English, I'm afraid, but I was thinking about a player today, and I thought, you know what? To sort out the number 10 role, he could come and do us a turn, and we could get him. You know, you could don't have to buy him. You could loan him. Although I reckon that he's if you bought him, I think his fee would have dropped substantially. And I'll say his name in a minute. Apparently, I've read earlier, Thomas Frank told Levy before taking the job that he would only need 3 or 4 first team signings this window. If he did, he was wrong. I think. Spotlight on Spurs says Spurs fan John. Oh, says Moani and Visser is who Newcastle are interested in. Marianne, good afternoon, Marianne. Big up Jose and all in the chat. Good afternoon, Marianne. I hope you are well. Simmons, that's the name I couldn't get. Simmons, Razzle Dazzle, you're spot on. Chelsea are buying, everyone says Ben. Luke says we should be in for both. I believe that's Eze and Grealish. David Clark says, forget Nico Paz. Como wants 70 million euros because Real Madrid have a sell-on clause of 50% and the buyback clause of 17 million euros. So if Levy will pay that for a kid, but not for Eze, it's ridiculous. Carl Simpson says, not to have a ready-made replacement in for Son to break the news as soon as Son left is a disgrace, says Carl. I'll read your comments. As I said, everyone has opinions and everyone's entitled to them. And I'm happy to see what you guys are thinking because I've not been on for a while. So it's good to see what you're thinking. Razda says the problem is evidence is we spent 610 million in 5 years. And what have we got for it? Yeah. Ben says Chelsea have had PSR issues, yet they are buying. We have everything in our favour, yet we are doing sweet F all. Marianne says same as usual. John says, told my osteo this morning I'd love Visser, but I don't see us paying 50 million for him when he's almost 29. I don't think he's worth 50, Visser. I think he goes for less than that. But the fact that we're not bidding for him and we wouldn't bid for him anyway, it's just, you know, I think Thomas Frank knows him. If Thomas Frank knows him and he thinks, if Thomas Frank thinks that we're light in the striker department and he knows Visser, then he would put in a word for him. And I'm not sure whether Thomas believes that Visser's the type of player we need. I don't know. Spurs. Graham says, Dan, are you ready to do battle in the predictions? Archer says the evidence is there that it's a foul transfer policy. Luke says, Ben, that's because they sold their nan to their dog's cousin for 200 million. Luke says, Daniel, there is an argument that we have players of 3, so we have had 3 to 4 players now. Smash a like, says someone called Eltel Cockerel. SJ says he does the chicken dance. Me saying, yeah, but it's a phrase that came out of my mouth. It wasn't meant to be that. I meant to say season ended and season starts. I didn't mean season's done. Marianne says we have a team full of average or bad players because Levy and co throughout the years don't buy the quality. I ain't going to disagree with a lot of what people are saying here. Razdan said they did say if Solanke didn't play against Newcastle, he would play against Bayern. So who knows what that means now? Paul G says he's looking forward to predictions again. I'm just about to get onto all that now. Nick Fadley, good afternoon, sir. Hope you're well. To be frank, Frank might be the man, says Nick Fadley. I hope you're well, Nick. Luke's saying he is just finishing off work. Lord Rodney says high caliber is about scouting, not price, Jose. Yeah, but we just haven't got anything in that department. Lord Rodney thanking Peter for his membership from earlier. Hey, hello, Tony. I hope you're well, sir. Hope you're well. Hope you're rested. Hope you're looking forward to the season. He says, good afternoon, Jose. I hope you and the family are okay. It's good to see you back. And you, Tone. I hope you are well, sir. It's nice to have you back in and around the YouTube arena, sir. And he also says, afternoon in the chat. How kind is that? Martin, buenas tardes, Martin. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Says, afternoon, Jose. Hope you're good, mate. I'm presuming you're still out in Spain, Martin. That's why I'm speaking Spanish to you. But I hope you're well. Good afternoon or good early evening to you if you are in Spain at the moment. But the exit payments are over 3 windows, not 3 seasons. Okay, regardless of that, though, David, someone who is of that quality and that caliber of player, surely. So basically, what you're paying, right? In a year and a half, you're paying 30 million. Sorry, yeah, in a year and a half, you're paying the 60 million. So it's 30 million a year. So if you do 20 million for the summer transfer window, another 20 million for the winter, that's 30. So no, so you're paying the whole 60. I'd pay it for someone like him, and especially that we are so low on homegrown numbers. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's talking this way. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that want Eze as well. Probably you want Eze over Grealish as well. A lot of you. I don't want either or. I want both, if we can possibly do it. Jimmy H, good afternoon, Jimmy H. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you and the family and the dog are well. Just big up those in the chat. Good afternoon. Marianne says people can't expect Frank to work miracles with his squad. He can't turn mere rocks into diamonds. We need quality players. Eugene says hi, everyone. Big up and hashtag Levy out and says nothing has changed. Levy out. It's a very good morning to you, I believe, Eugene. I hope you are well, sir. The harmless potato says my only hope is that we can get the hotel ready for the Euros in 2028. All funds should be redirected if necessary. Archer says, I'll be glad to start predictions from the beginning this time rather than halfway through. And then you've got Jimmy Oxford says, can you imagine starting the Premier League and the Champions League seasons with only Richarlison and Tell up front? Eugene says, look, just go and pay Brighton for their recruitment team. I think it's a bit more than just their recruitment team. I think it's the way that Tony Bloom and the people in the background do the work at Brighton. I just don't think it's their recruitment team. I think they do quite a bit. Martin Knightsbridge says, yes, still in Spain, mate. Aha. Still not morning. It's 12 minutes to go. Okay, so the clocks must have changed. I thought that you were 8 hours. It must be 7 hours now then. So there must be some summertime saving or something, Eugene, because I always thought you were 8 hours ahead of us. SJ says, breaking news. Yamal and Musiala have been spotted, but not at White Hart Lane. Right, people, let's start with the updates for the competitions. Right, so there are 3 competitions as per usual. And next season, they are back. It's all 3 competitions that we do, and they're back. Oh, I've got someone else here. Oh, Saru Sechev says, a leaving masterclass in time wasting. Ange firing 7 days. Frank hiring 14 days. Morgan Gibbs White 35 days. Sorry, I didn't see this comment, but this comment's come in on X. So, Sarab, I hope you are well, sir. Look who's here. Look who's here. Yeah, daylight savings are 7 hours at the moment, says Eugene. He's a very, very good young man. Says, big up those on the chat. I'm not really listening, but I'm pretending I care. We'll keep it as our little secret. Yeah. Kuva, I hope you and the boys are really well, mate. Nice to see you here, mate. Nice to see you. Right. And as I say that, we're going to go into the banners. Right. So we are doing the same as last year. So there is the links for maybe what I need to do. Right. So what I'm going to do. Right. So there is the link for fantasy football. So the LTL Cockerel League, the fantasy football is there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post it in the chat. So everybody is welcome to join the LTL Cockerel Football League. I need to go and find out. Right. So let me share the screen. I mean, I might need to update it, but let me share the screen. So at the moment, that is your link to join the LTL Cockerel Fantasy Football League. And at the moment, I think we had 50 teams last year. I haven't updated this. Let me, right. So at the moment, people in the chat, So, so Kuva is in. Side Dancer, we still is in. Nick Collison's in. Graham is in. His boss is in. His boss who won it last year, Ped Vessel, is in. I think just a harmless potato is in. Jess is in. Luke is in. Kevin Clark will be still around. He's in as well. Carl's in. Christopher Peters is in. So they're the people that I can see so far that have already automatically signed up to the LTL Cockerel fantasy football. So if you want to enter the LTL Cockerel fantasy football, like I said, there is the link in the chat and the code that will take you to the league. So a lot of the people that have already a lot of the people that would have played this last year, as soon as I set the league up, I think I did it yesterday or the day before, their teams, if they've already selected and picked a team already, they automatically get attached to the league because they were there last season. Razzle Dazzle's just joined. Well done, Razzle Dazzle. So so there is the link. And also, I've put the link into the description of the show as well. So if people are interested, then they can go there. Jess has also put her link for her fantasy football, a couple below. All right, so now who we got that's new? All right, Razzle Dazzle must be Darren. Darren has just joined us with a team called Sweet and Sour. So well done, you. So that takes us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32 teams so far. Yeah, Carl, if you like I said, if you were in this last year, providing you've already picked a team, if you've already selected a team, then as soon as any of the leagues that you were in last season reattach themselves or redo a league, you will automatically join that league because you were in it before. So that's why you're already there. But yeah, the code for the fantasy league is now in the chat. It's there. It's in the chat. If people want to join it, you're more than welcome to do so. Let me stop sharing that for a second. And let me go in studio again so I can see myself. Right, let me take that banner off. Right, so that's competition number 1. And as I said, competition number 1, it's in the chat. Follow this link, enter that code. You will be in fantasy. It's also, as I said, it's also in the description of the show. You're more than welcome to join. And also as well, Jess, for her channel, has got the code for her fantasy football, which is there. I might need to write this down, unless Jess has probably sent it to me on the phone so I can do it. There he is. Good afternoon, Sir Rob. I hope you're well, sir. I hope you're well. I hope the summer's treated you and your family really well. It's so nice to see you. And that is fantasy football. Right. The next thing that we're doing again, that we did last year, is we're doing Predict the Prem. Predict the Prem. Right, so for Predict the Prem, because I've also got this. Right, let me paste Predict the Prem into the chat. Good afternoon, good morning, Quez. I hope you're well, sir. It's so nice to see you here. Right, paste that one in there. Right, Predict the Prem is right. So Predict the Prem is there in the chat. Let's predict the Prem in the chat. And at the moment we have, so for those that haven't done predict the Prem, this is where you go, you join the league or our league. People that joined last year are automatically in there. So we currently have 41 people in here already. And predict the Prem, you just put in your scores. So if I go to predictions, right, here we go. The fixture's going to come up. Let's have a look. Let me have a look. Where is it? Right, so there we are. So in here, you automatically put your predictions in and you score points. You put them in, so whatever your score predictions are, and then you save them, and then you get points for scoring goals, for winning games, and for getting accurate results. And that gets done automatically and online. And like some people did, and I didn't realize this, you can pick and you can do a load in advance if you want. So there were some people that did every single game last season because they did them in advance. Some of us forgot to do them and didn't put them in and missed out. But you can also do them in advance. It's got all the fixtures there. I can't look at last season's ones, so I can't tell you how it works out for the points. But you know, at the end of the day, it's so easy to use. You're just going up like that, enter your scores. You can always change your scores up until the moment of kickoff. So it's unlike fantasy, where fantasy wants you to have your selections an hour or 2 hours before a game starts. You can change any of your selections here in Predict the Prem up until the minute before they kick off. So if you want to enter this, which was quite interesting last year, this was won by Graham last year. So the fantasy football was won by Graham's boss, Ped, and Graham won this. So there was kind of a monopoly. So Graham won one and his boss won the other. But we currently have 41 players there. People are more than welcome to join. Not only have I given you the code and how to enter there, but I have also put it into the description of the show, right? So it's there. Predict the Prem. Gus Peasy says, small downs, Jose fella. Small downs to you, Gus. Small downs to you as well. I hope you're well, mate. So that is Predict the Prem. So for everyone that's entering Predict Prem, whether all these people take part or not, I don't know. But there's 41 people currently there. But you can't link to it. Okay. Let me just try this one then. Right, so I'm going to copy this and go back into the studio. Right. Right, try that link. That link and the code then would be, if you can't get into it, is 561854. Right, there's the link again. I've done the link again. Try, Archer, try that one. That's the link. I've copied and pasted the link. So that's the link to that I've got up. I'm showing you now. And then the code is a couple down is the code. Yeah. And then you can enter. So try that and see whether you're successful with that. And we'll try and get you on with that one. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, fair enough. So all you do is you enter that and then enter your code, and the code will take you into our league. Yeah. You're saying it's now working. Okay. The more the merrier. People are welcome to join that. These two games, so the Predict the Prem, Fantasy Football, are free of charge. There's no payment. I'd like you to be a subscriber So next, as from Friday onwards, it will be, yeah, it's for the people. Yeah, Chris, you're right. It automatically will renew you if you were in it last year. If you didn't play it last year, then someone. So I don't think Archer played this last year, so he's having to click to go in. So yeah, so these are free of charge. Andy Nguyen is coming to Tottenham to sign Eze is a must as a 10. We're totally agreement with you, Andy. Total agreement with you. So they're the 2 games so far that we're doing again this season. They can be found on the description of this show. They'll be on the description again next week when we do the predictions. But yeah, at the end of the day, both of them are there. You're more than welcome to join in. Jess says she's just joined. Thank you very much for joining, Jess. Archer will join. That'll probably take us to 43. And anybody else that wants to join. Carson says we are getting Eze and Grealish. I've got a feeling. Adrian's got feelings as well. Keeps telling about his feelings, and I had a chat with him yesterday. And I don't know where he got his feelings from because nothing remotely to what he's feeling has happened yet. But there we go. Right. And last but not least, predictions. Predictions League starts next week. But the Predictions League next week will be for members only. So the prediction game week 1 will start next Friday and it will be members only. So if you're a member on and when the shows are done, you will be able to comment in the chat and you'll be able to put your predictions into the chat because you're a member, so you'll be able to see this. If you're not a member, you'll be able to watch the show, but you won't be able to put anything into the chat. So it's up to you guys. No pressure, but if you want to enter it this year, you all know how much hard work it is. And, you know, at the end of the day, having to run about and chase people, and I'm not doing it. It's going to be simplified this year. If you're a member, then I will give you all my time in predictions, and I will do the predictions for you and give you all my time. But it will be a members only. So if you're a member on or before the show on Friday or during the show on Friday, you will have access to putting your scores in. There's quite a few of you that are members here already, and a few of you that are members here already that played it last year and enjoyed it. There's a few of you that are in here that are not members at the moment but have enjoyed it for the last year or two. It's your choice. You're not being forced. At the end of the day, you know, it's up to you. Whether you want to join and become a member, then you're in. If you're not a member, then you won't be in for this as from next week. So the membership link is pinned to the chat. So if people do decide they want to become members, then they can enter this. And as I said that, Chris Peters has just gifted 5 channel memberships, which is extremely kind of Chris. And these have gone to Drewzilla, Safcom, Ryan McF, George at Durag Diaries, and Matty Kushner, Matty K. So these people, who I don't think any of them are currently here at the show at the moment. Oh, Ryan McGeff was here earlier, but if these people see the gifted, that Peter's gifted them, sorry, that Chris Peters has gifted them, they'll come and say thank you. And if not, I will direct them to advise that it was Chris Peters that gave out these memberships. Like we did earlier when Peter K gave 5, 2 people came in and thanked Peter K, who I think were Luke from Spotlight on Spurs and Lord Rodney came in and thanked Peter earlier. Safcom is a troll. They don't deserve the membership. I don't know. As I said, Peter, if Chris or anybody else, if they give memberships, you can't pick and choose who you're going to give them to. First and foremost, I think people need to have their. I think the general rule of thumb is people need to have their. What do you call it? People need to have their settings that they're happy to accept. They're happy to accept gifts, and if you've got your settings that way, then if someone does the thing for you, If someone gifts you it and you've got it switched on and you're lucky enough to be gifted, then you'll get a membership. If you haven't got that settings switched on, then you won't be gifted anything. They keep going to Spurs chats all the time and spamming. Gus says, I'd like to get involved, but I sadly can't do the online banking stuff. Okay, Gus, I'm not sure why you can't, because all it is pressing a link and then it goes through automatically from doing a link. But at the end of the day, if you can, you can. Someone called Tanju has just joined the Premier League. Don't know who Tanju is, but whoever they are, they've just joined, which is good. People on X, people are watching on X. If you want to join in as well, you see the links. You're more than welcome to join in to the fantasy football for LTL Cockerel and Predict the Prem. The only one that you need to be a member for is the predictions game. And just for people that don't know, most of the people here I can see have played it before. There are some people in it that I've seen that may not have played it. With the Predictions League, what we did last year, so first year that we did it, it was really successful. I had 114 people. I had 114 people get involved in the first time that we did predictions. And it was Tot Spurs that won. He won it the first year. Last year, what we did last year is we ended up doing the Premiership games. So every week, so week 1 to week 38 will always be a Premiership week. Yeah. But what we've also done is what people asked to do is what I did last year is, and I did this the year before, but not to the extent I did last year. But when there is a international break, or when there's a cup weekend, like the FA Cup, where none of the first round or whatever round it may be, and there's no league games or no Premiership League games, what I do is I do a bumper bonus predictions. So I was whacking in 20 to 24 games in a bonus week, and in a normal week we were doing 10 Premiership games, and then we were adding 3, 4, 5 bonus games. Now, to keep it clear this year, I think because it will start with, and we'll all be really good, and we will just start with. I'd say, let's say for argument's sake, we agreed that we're going to do 3 bonus games, and we're going to do the we'll do the Premiership, and we're going to do 3 bonus games, right? So let's say that's how we're going to start off now. So next Friday, it'll be Premiership, 3 bonus games. What tends to happen is people do get into it, and people want more. So what happened last year, I ended up doing the Premiership and 10 bonus games, and it became so much hard work and effort. So many different people having to check who was in it, who was new, who predicted the week before, who hadn't predicted. And so it's easier just to keep this and can it all up and keep it in one area, and it'll be so much easier for me. So yeah, Predictions League starts next week on Friday. The show will be 4 p.m. and that'll be week 1. At the moment, it's, as I said, we know it's going to be all the Premiership games, and I will decide before next Friday how many bonus games we're going to have as well. But I will do what I did in previous seasons. When the Premiership's not on, I will add further games to make it bumper weeks or bonus weeks, and then like that, we could all have um, we can all have a go, and that means you don't miss out. That means we'll do it every single week. With Predict the Prem, which is online, it will only be Premiership games only. So therefore, if the Premiership's playing, you can do a prediction and you can do them online. But with Predict the Prem, even when Premiership games ain't on, we'll still play the interactive game. Some of you that haven't played it before may not understand fully what I'm talking about, but if you do end up playing it, you will understand very quickly what it is we actually do, and it is fun. Last year I won it, pulled it right out of the bag right at the end. It came down to the last day, and it was the honesty of Dan, who turned around and said, it was the honesty from Dan who turned around and said that I'd got a prediction wrong for him because he had the win, and because he was honest, and it was actually not the correct score that I'd given him. I'd given him too many points. Ended up meant that I won by a point or something. So it was only because Dan was honest about it that I ended up winning by a point. So this year, just to make it fair, right? Because I'm playing it. Look at that. If I look at that, it says Eltel Cockerel and it's got a member badge next to it. I took out a membership the other day. I paid for a membership for my own channel just to be sure that if I'm going to play it as well, then I'm a member. So I actually got my own membership the other day. So just to let people know, it's not like I'm picking and choosing. I got my own membership the other day in order to play. Ellie says, can you put the members link into the chat? Ellie, you're currently a member. I don't know why you want it it's pinned already, but you are already a member. You've got the symbol there already, Ellie, after Coys. So you're already a member. But the link does work. And if people do want to become members, the link is pinned to the chat. And saying that, got a new member. Was a member last year, but he's become a member. It's Edem. Welcome on board, Edem. I hope you're well. I hope that you've been in the show. And if you have been in the show, then I hope you're aware, Ed, where all the codes are and the links are for Predict the Prem, Fantasy Football, and you've now a member, so you'll be able to do predictions. Queen says, I can't see the membership link. But Ellie, why do you want to see it? You're a member already. So I can't understand why you want to see it because you're already a member. I can't understand why you want to see it. Let me have a look. Right, I'm gonna have to go and check this, Ellie. So bear with me a second because I did this the other. It does work, Ellie. So I'm gonna put it back into the chat for you, but it is pinned. And I don't know why you want it because you're already a member, unless you're getting somebody else to become a member. Right, let me have a look. Is this the one? Yeah. Let me go back into the studio. Go back to the comments. Let me see. Right, let's do this one. Right. The link's there again, Ellie. I've put it in there for you. But you're already a member, so I can't understand. Ryan's here. Says, big up, Jose. Good afternoon, Ryan. I hope you're well, mate. It's been a while. Been a couple of weeks, in fact. Not been a while. It's been a couple of weeks. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well. He's not called Honest Dan for nothing, says Graham. Is there another way that we can raise funds for a prize for the winner of these comps? It's really difficult to do it, Archer, because at the end of the day, it's if I could always turn around and say, look, what we'll do, let's, for argument's sake, I could say, let's all say it's a tenner a pop, right? So if everyone puts super chats in for a tenner, right? The thing you've got to remember is that YouTube will take £3 of that straight away. So basically, the pot is £7 per person, and the other three will go to YouTube, and then you can build up a pot like that. I don't know whether there's clamour and people want to do it though, but yeah, there is a. It's about people saying, "Look, we're happy to do X, Y, and Z," and if people do that, then I would do it, and then we'd know how many people put a super chat in for fantasy. I don't know, fantasy entrance or whatever, but they end up taking 30. They take 30% of whatever. So when you get a membership, if the membership costs you £2, right, 30% of that goes to YouTube straight away. So they're always going to take 30% of whatever you put into it. So I don't know. It depends. If people want to do it, then it's down to them. I'll do whatever people want to do, but for the time being, it's free for people. It's just that members are the only ones going to be able to do predictions. Ryan is member for a month. Says, Jose, why are people saying Frank out already? I don't know, Ryan. Are they saying that? If they are, very small-minded people, I would have thought, because even though I'm disappointed, and I said this before right at the start of the show, even though I am disappointed that we lost yesterday, I take it with, at the end of the day, it's about getting minutes into people's legs, right? And at the end of the day, we just got to be primed. In all honesty, we want to be primed and ready for PSG, but the priming and the readiness should be for the first game of the season. But people will want to win the Super Cup against PSG, so we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know why they're doing it, because it's just very small-minded people in my eyes. Can you see if I've joined? My name is English Spurs on the fantasy. Which one are you talking about, Jack? What one are you talking about? Are you talking about fantasy football, or are you talking about Predict the Prem? I will have a look in the background. There we go. It's coming up now. Right, who am I looking for? Right, now, you're not in fantasy at the moment. And let me have a look at the other one. Right, what am I looking for? Right, you're in fantasy football, but what's your name, Jack? What's your actual name, if you don't mind me asking? I'm looking to the fantasy, but I've got no new players. I've got new players that have joined the I've got new players that have joined the Predict the Prem, because we're now up to 44. Your name's Jack. Right. So Jack, you are not in the Predict the Prem. Fantasy football. Let me have a look. I hadn't seen your name a minute ago. Jack XL. Your name? Is it Jack XL? If it is, Jack, you are in. Okay, Jack, you're in. You're in the fantasy, and your team's called English Spurs. Ryan is now in as well. I can see Ryan's joined as well. He's joined the fantasy football. But you both are more than welcome to join Predict the Prem, where you predict Premiership games. And like I said, anyone that wants to do Predictions League, right? For the Predictions League, you need to be a member. If you're a member, you will be in the Predictions League, and we start it next Friday. So that is the call for everybody. Your call. You want to join, you're more than welcome to do so. I will be back. Look at this. This guy is absolutely brilliant at the games. Spurs has always been a formidable foe. Always has been, right? He always has been. And he says, any chance of a 20 points head start and Predict the Prem. He's a really good player. He knows his onions, and he's now asking for, a head start. He doesn't need it. He's really good. People on listening on X, if you're more than welcome to have a look at the description of the stream, and you're more than welcome to enter. 2 games are free of charge, which is the fantasy football and unless things change and the people ask for anything different. Fantasy football, Predict the Prem, both online, free of charge. Right? But the Predictions League that we do here, which is an interactive game where everybody gets involved, is going to be members only, and the shows start next Friday. So you'd have to become a member in order to enter that. But anything else, people on X, you're more than welcome to have a look at the description of the stream, and it will give you the codes to join. Where is my man gone? So right, it's a bit further up. To predict predict the football prem, right, which is online. It's there, right, and the code is there. So to enter it, you go to there. It's in the chat as well, and then the code is there. Yeah, and if you want to enter the Fantasy Premier League, it is there. There's your Fantasy Premier League with the code. Yeah, so people predict the Prem is in the description of the chat, and fantasy football is in the description of the chat. You're more than welcome to enter. The links and the codes are there for both, for LTL Cockerel competitions. And then we have got Destiny. Says, I'm in with a love heart. Good afternoon, Destiny. I hope you and your family are well. I hope you and your family are really well. And Destiny's in. So Destiny's a member. So Destiny will be in predictions next week. Anyone who's a member will definitely be in predictions next week. And also, Vindaloo. Hello, Vinders. Has become a YouTube member. So that means Vinders will be in next week as well. Fantastic. We're starting to get the numbers back up. Starting to see a bit more membership. So we're starting to get the numbers up. So today we have got what have I got? I've got 1, 2. We have 12 members today. 10 were gifted and 2 have joined. So with that, these 12 people have an opportunity to play next week. Kuva, let me see what Kuva always makes me smile. He says to Dazza, you can't ask Jose for 3 points or to make up some stellar results for you 1 week just to wind up Daniel 90. Europa League champions, Eva. I tried, had a wheeze about fake teams though. And Daz says he would test the waters though. There we go. Destiny says, good thanks, Jose. I hope you and the family well. Yeah, as well as we can be. Again, shout out to people that go to Tottenham matches. I have purchased my ticket for the. I've purchased my ticket for Burnley. I've purchased a ticket for Bournemouth. I was umming and ahhing about Wolves because I've got it depends on the trains now. I'm going to try and get to as many games as I possibly can this season. So anybody that's at the matches, I'm happy to meet up and say hello. So you can see that the person that you see on screen is actually a real person as well. And you'll find that the person you see on screen is the person that you'll see at the stadium. Not two different people, same person, whether I'm on the screen or whether I'm at the stadium. And if you were to have the luxury of sitting next to me, you would see how much I sing and shout my heart out for the team. I come back hoarse from games. And that's even when we're winning. But there we go. Right, so that's the Premier League code. And the other code, again, I'm going to repeat this before I finish the show. They are both in the description of the show, and they are also in the chat in places. So that's to do the Premier League predictions, predict the Prem, and that is for the Fantasy Football League. Yeah. So, and Jess is saying, what's Jess saying? Jess has said something. Comments. Jess says she's looking forward to playing a full season of predictions. And I'm going to do one last shout out, should I say, to try and get me because I'm not far from reaching 50 likes for the show. So I'm going to put a shout out to see whether people would be interested in hitting a like. And if they do, then see if we get to 50. I'm going to put it out now. There we go. Smash. That's wrong, in it? Right, there we go. There we go. That gone in? Yeah, I've just done it. I've just done it. There we go. Right, so she's looking forward to playing a full season prediction. I think you missed the first couple of weeks or first few weeks and then came in absolutely storming it, didn't you? Lucky Sings here says, my prediction, Tottenham get 10th. Lucky, you're more than welcome to join in as well, mate. As I said, and I'll say this one last time before we end the stream now, is in the description of today's show, you will have the links to become a member if you wish to become a member. So you're in for predictions for next week. You also have fantasy football link and code to enter the NFL Cockerel League, and you also have Predict the Prem link and code to join the NFL Cockerel League for Predict the Prem. And with that, and I just said, yeah, smash a like for the stream. It helps apparently. Vindaloo, it's just coming. I am in to kick you, knows who's arse and win it because I'll be starting day one. Jose, catch you later and peace. I can see the fighting talk starting already. Hey, look, there we go. There we go. And she is told on uncertain terms, Vinders, I'm here. God bless you, Jess. God bless you. He only does it to you. I don't think he does it to anybody else. I think he just tries to get your goat. Right, one more like. I'm away from getting 50. I'm on 49. It'd be shame. I'm going to finish the show off, see if I can get to 50. But listen, everyone, thank you very much for joining in. I'm going to be speaking to Chan to see whether we're going to resurrect our Sunday shows. I will put out a member show as well, so members come on and have you saying that. And we will definitely be back for predictions next Friday. Anyone on X, last call out to you guys. If anyone on X wants to join these competitions, the two that I've said that are online, the codes and the links can be found in the description of the show. But the predictions league that we do that's interactive with people live on the show is a membership only one, and that will start next Friday. So providing you're a member before next Friday's show or whilst the show's going on, you'll be in. So thank you very much, everyone. I wish you all a great weekend. God bless you all. I need to thank Vindaloo for his super chat, Graham for his member chat, Just a Harmer Spud member chat, Paul G for his member chat, Carl Simpson for his member chat, Ryan for his member chat, Destiny for his member chat, Peter Kagaias, who kindly gifted 5 channel memberships, Chris Peters, who kindly gifted 5 memberships, Ed M, who became a new member today, and or again, should I say, and Vindaloo, who's become a member again. So well done, everyone. Have a great weekend. Enjoy whatever you choose to do, and I will see you all. I will see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. God bless you all.
Tell, Cockerel, he's just a true guy. You'll have a true time. Tell, Cockerel, leave your troubles at the door. You know the game, you know the score. We're here to have fun, so holster that gun and read the writing on the wall. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerel, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerel. Jose gets himself around, always talking Spurs wherever he is found, home or away. He always tips to win, throws the form book in the bin with a cheeky knowing grin. a chill guy, you'll have a chill time. El-tel, cockerel. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and on and on and on. Why do I always get it wrong? Every time I play along. El-tel, cockerel. The show is so chilled, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. El-tel, cockerel. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? El-tel, cockerel. The show is so chill, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here